Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Above the Rim Rundown, where we run down all things NBA. I am one of your hosts, Memo, and right beside me, I've got Hoops. How you doing?
What's going on, man? Overall, doing good. Just getting through in life. Regular routine for a while now. And yeah, seems like season has just been going through its waves, shall we say?
Yeah,
How's everything going with you?
good. I guess. Definitely agree with the part where the season is going through its waves. This is almost the little small part of the season where it's nothing really going on because the trade deadline is over, the All-Star week is over, and we're not close enough to the playoffs where we're trying to figure out seeding and stuff. So it's this random dry spell in the middle of the season. Um, we got some stuff to talk about, but this might be a shorter episode. As for me, I'm good. Tired, very tired. I had a lot of homework this past week, but luckily, like two of my classes ends this week, so I'm just gonna have 3 classes instead of 5 moving forward, which is gonna help out a lot. And yeah, I'm already feeling you know, the amount of pressure going away. I don't have that much to do this weekend, which is great. I'm very happy about that. Um, Speaking of weekend, last weekend we finally hung out for your birthday. We went to a sports bar. We checked out the Lakers versus Warriors game. A little bit of a snoozer because the Lakers dominated, but we'll take the win, of course. I had fun. I had fun last week.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad we were able to finally get together. Uh, Almost 1 full month after my birthday, but as the saying often goes, better late than never. So I'm glad we were able to get together. The bar was pretty cool. The food was good, and the Lakers won. Even though it was a blowout and it wasn't necessarily the most entertaining game, I am glad that it went in our favor.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So yeah, that was fun for sure.
yeah. The only thing I'll say about the bar was that the decoration was weird. Just a bunch of AI dogs everywhere. It was
Oh yeah.
strange. So
That was
random.
very interesting to say the least.
Yeah, and they're all doing
And
different sports.
yeah, I remember one of the things we were talking about was because there were like several different TV screens and some of them had some like super random stuff on the TV. Like one of them, it was like a sports obstacle course event
Uh
or
huh.
whatever.
It's like the skill challenge, but with other sports.
Basically, like it was basketball, football, soccer,
Yeah.
tennis, I believe, and so forth. And then another one, they were literally playing like an old school Western film. So
Uh
it
huh.
was interesting to say the least.
The other
We'll
sport that
say,
was playing was this 3-way soccer game where the field was a giant circle and there was 3
yeah.
nets. It looked chaotic, but it kind of looked fun.
Oh yeah, that one was very interesting to see, to say the least. Yeah, that was funny. But yeah, I will say, the decorations were a bit different, to say the least. The TVs had some interesting stuff on. Overall, I would say it was a cool experience, though. I would say definitely a spot we could consider going back to.
Yeah, for sure. But okay, let's jump into the weekly rundown. We haven't done this in such a long time. The last episode we filmed was our 100th episode where we drafted an all-time lineup each. I highly recommend that episode. It was a great one. But yeah, we're going back to business. We're gonna talk about some NBA stuff, obviously, and we're gonna start off with the standings. All right, so it has been a while since we've last read off the standings. I don't know whose turn it is, to be honest.
Yeah,
Um,
I believe you did the Western Conference last time, so I think it's my turn.
all right, go for it.
Um, yeah, all right, we'll roll with it. So, starting with the Western Conference at the very bottom, we got the Kings at 14 and 50. Um, 14, we got the Jazz at 19 and 44. 13, Pelicans 20 and 44. 12, Mavs 21 and 41. 11, Grizzlies 23 and 38. 10, Blazers 30 and 33. 9, Clippers 30 and 31. 8, Warriors 32 and 30. 7, Suns 35 and 27. 6, Lakers 37 and 25. 5, Nuggets 39 and 24. 4, Rockets 38 and 23. 3, Timberwolves 40 and 23. 2, Spurs 45 and 17. And sitting atop the Western Conference, the Oklahoma City Thunder are 49 and 15. So those are the Western Conference standings.
Now for the Eastern Conference, at number 15, we got the Pacers with a 15 and 47 record. 14, the Nets with a 15 and 47 record. Wizards at 13 with a 16 and 46 record. Bulls at 12 with a 26 and 37 record. Bucks at 11 with a 26-35 record. Hawks at 10 with a 32-31 record. Hornets at 9 with a 32-31 record. Heat at 8 with a 34-29 record. The Magic at 7 with a 33-28 record. 76ers at 6 with a 34-28 record. Raptors at 5 with a 35-27 record. Cavs at 4 with a 39-24 record. Knicks at 3 with a 40-23 record. Celtics at 2 with a 41-21 record. And at number 1, it's the Pistons with a 45-16 record. So that was East Coast, the least coast. Let's jump into the W list. And the first one, I added the Celtics. Not necessarily with like their play as of late, even though they have been solid. They are the second seed in the East. But essentially, the main reason I have the Celtics in the W list is that because of the announcement that Jayson Tatum, after what was it, a torn Achilles, was it?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, after a torn Achilles is returning, possibly this Friday. So it would have been, you know, in the past for the listener just now. But as of recording, he's supposed to be coming back tomorrow, uh, and he's going to be playing for the second seed team in the East. Who they have 41 wins at the moment without their quote unquote best player. I know there's always debate. There's sometimes debate on who's the best player, but yeah, I feel like this is a scary thing for the league. Honestly, like I heard a lot of people say that Jason Tatum is actually gonna make the team worse. He's gonna make he's gonna ruin the chemistry essentially. I don't feel like that will be an issue. Like this man and most of this roster have been playing together for years now. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown have been playing for what, like 8 years together. They've been to two finals together, and Jason Tatum is a very versatile player as well. Like I hate to say it, but the Celtics might be going to the finals this year. They're bringing back their best player after having such an amazing season without him. They have 41 wins or whatever, second seed with Jaylen Brown leading the way at the moment. He could continue leading the way, and Jason Tatum can still have an impactful role for this team as like the second guy, if you want to call it, right? Like if he's second or first, either way, he's gonna be impactful, and it's honestly scary. As someone that hates the Celtics, I don't want them to succeed at all. So, Jason Tatum returning is not something that I am excited for. Obviously, I am glad that he is healthy. And hopefully he recovered well, because this is unprecedented. Like no players come back less than a year after tearing their Achilles. This like never happens. So it is gonna be interesting to look out for as well, seeing how well he plays, if he's 100%, or if this worsens his situation. Like hopefully they didn't rush anything. Like as someone that's not a professional who just you know enjoys the sport, this doesn't this seems like a rush job, but who knows? Like medicine has been advancing, so what do I know? But yeah, what are your thoughts on this? Because I'm sure you're not happy about it. Uh, I'm just guessing.
Yeah, a lot of similar thoughts to you. I'm happy for him that he's healthy enough and recovered from the injury as a human being. As far as the Celtics' sake, I think this is a scary sighting because, like as you mentioned, without Tatum, very much expected during offseason was that the Celtics would at least like the expectation was that this was going to be like a bridge year or a gap year for them. And what did they do? Somehow be the second seed without their, as you said, arguable best player because of the debate that goes on. Um, and now they get their arguable best player back after that. That's definitely scary for sure. Now, I will say I have heard the same thing that you heard about like, could Jayson Tatum returning possibly hurt the chemistry? It's possible. I mean, like, we've seen things like this happen in the past before. Like teams were on a streak, and then suddenly a player comes back. You think would maybe make them even better, and then turns out the chemistry gets disrupted, and things are just not the same anymore. I do think that definitely. You mentioned a very valid point about the fact that Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown have already played together for like 8 to 9 years, whatever it is now, and I believe it's 8, excluding the season that's coming now. But like basically, yeah, the team already has the chemistry, so it's probably not gonna be like too hard to implement. The question, I guess, the main thing to look out for is he 100%, and is he actually like good to like return safely, and hopefully it was not rushed or anything, because I think that best case scenario is that he is fully healthy, still impactful for the Celtics, and this team goes very far. Worst case scenario, knock on wood, worst case scenario could be if they did rush him too fast and then he re-injures, then it wouldn't be worth it. Um, so yeah, I guess we'll find out soon if they make the right decision. Obviously, like um, medicine and being advanced now than more than ever before, it's possible maybe he fully recovered. Um, but yeah, we shall see very soon whether or not this is a smart decision. At the moment, though, it's definitely looking like a scary sighting. The already number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference getting back one of their key players. Something to look out for. Hopefully, for our sake, they end up just being either the same or worse and don't go anywhere. But it is definitely looking scary at the moment.
Yeah, like even now you could argue that they're contenders, but just adding Tatum to the mix kind of like solidifies that portion because like I don't believe in the Pistons right now. It's hard to believe in the
No.
Knicks. They've been like very inconsistent. Um, the Cavs are interesting now that they have Harden. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not happy about
Yeah.
this. I'm not happy.
Yeah, me neither. Now, okay. This might be like a okay, I'm gonna say this. This is probably like a very fuming hot take. But
Ooh.
I'm gonna say this. If the Hornets somehow continue to do their thing, who knows how far they could maybe make a run in the playoffs. I'm not saying they're going to go to the finals, but like recently, they've been looking like the scariest team in the league, low key.
You know what? You're not that
Um,
crazy. You're not that crazy
yeah,
because this is to a much like extreme scale, very similar to what the Pacers did last year. The Pacers
yep,
were very shaky last year at the beginning, but once January hit, they turned it around. They were one of the best teams in the league from January to the playoffs, but because of their like poor record at the beginning of the season, they didn't have like a super high, seed obviously. So honestly, like if the Hornets make
yep,
a run in the playoffs this year, I wouldn't be too surprised either. You know what?
yeah,
This is a perfect transition to the Hornets, which is the next team that we are going to talk about in the
yep.
W list because they've been on fire. Like I don't know when this started. It feels again very similar to the Pacers, where I feel like when once the year turned, uh, the Hornets have been on fire. We know Nipple is like, I think like betting wise, he is the front runner for rookie of the year, especially since Cooper Flag was injured. He just recently returned or whatever. So like, it's looking good for the Hornets. Like it's been a while since they've been to the playoffs too. Um,
It has been, yeah.
because they never went to the
Um,
playoffs with Lamelo, right? Just the play in.
yeah, that's correct.
It hasn't been since the Kemba era.
Yeah, 2016, I believe.
So like 10 years.
Yeah, the last time they made it, the last time they were in the play-in, I think was LaMelo's rookie year, or I don't know if they also made it in his sophomore year, but I
Yeah,
know that they made it his rookie year and then they lost, I think, against the Hawks or someone.
something like
Um,
that. I know it's
yeah,
early on in Lamelo's career.
yep, that's correct. But yeah, recently they have been looking very scary. After starting this season slow and looking like one of the worst teams in the league and not really progressing much from last year, they have been on a roll since the turn of the calendar. Um, the Hornets are currently on a 6 game win streak. They had wins over the Wizards, Bulls, Pacers, Blazers, Mavericks, and most impressively, the Celtics, which they just destroyed on the road, actually, 118-89. 29-point blowout. Pretty impressive. And I think one of the more crazy stats I saw that really impressed me was that it said that the Hornets are 20-2 when their starting five is healthy. So that shows the team's potential right there. And on top of that, in 2026, the Hornets have logged 21 wins and they have a net rating of plus 11.9, both ranking first in the NBA this year. So there goes the statement about the Hornets being the hottest team in the league um, recently and the scariest looking. And in the process, now they are above 500. The Hornets now have a 32-31 record, which currently has them in the ninth seed. But we also gotta keep in mind, like, they keep this up, and some teams on top of them lose some games, they could easily move to like as high as seventh, maybe even sixth seed. Because right now they are only 2 games back of both the Heat and the Magic, and they are only 2.5 games back of the Sixers, and then 3.5 games back of the Raptors. So who knows where this team could be in like a month. But they keep this up. I like what I see from them. I think they could for sure at least sneak into the playoffs. Seeding would be the only question. But yeah, this team has been looking very impressive.
Very, very impressive. I actually definitely rooting for them. I want to see them in the playoffs. Like just want to see what they do, and if they could
Yeah,
like
me too.
upset any team. Um, because yeah, this was a team like I had no hope for. I'm sure you had no hope for. Like
Oh
when
yeah,
we made
absolutely not.
those seating predictions. But Conklin very impactful. Brandon Miller has been awesome. LaMelo has his great moments as well. He's also hitting people with cars, but we can pass that. Yeah, it's very interesting how this just came out of nowhere. Um, but it's exciting stuff right here. Honestly, um, I feel like I had another point I wanted to mention, but I forgot it. So honestly, we could um, just move on to the next team, which is the Atlanta Hawks. They've been doing pretty well recently.
Yeah, they have. So same as the Hornets, also a 32-31 record. Currently the Hawks are on a 5-game win streak. Wins over the Nets, 2 wins over the Wizards, a win over the Blazers, and a win in Milwaukee. So I think it's safe to say after the Hawks traded away Trae, there were not many expectations for this team. Kind of looked dead in the water, and no one expected them to do anything. But suddenly they started to win lately, and it looks like the trade of giving up Porzingis for Kuminga has seemingly done wonders for this team. So far, the Hawks have been looking like the easy winner of that trade. Obviously, it's only been like a month period, not even, and small sample size. But so far, looking like it. Kuminga has been doing great for the Hawks, while Porzingis has literally only played 1 game for the Warriors and currently dealing with an unknown illness, as the report says. So that's a little confusing there. But I think that the key thing has been that Jalen Johnson has been continuing to impress as he has all year and had made a very good case for being an all-star. And on top of that, Kuminga obviously coming in and being like a very key presence being made ever since the trade. Another reason why they've been winning. So yeah, Hawks have shockingly been making some noise lately. We shall see if they can keep it up.
Yeah. Um, Obviously, like context matters, but like seeing Kaminga ball out after being traded from the Warriors is kind of funny to see. Like, obviously, it wasn't gonna work out with the Warriors. The Warriors didn't need Kaminga. Kaminga can't shoot and defend, and that's what they need because Jimmy Butler can't shoot, Draymond can't shoot, Pods is inconsistent, right? So they didn't need a Kaminga on the team. But seeing him ball out and putting up numbers, going for like crazy dunks and stuff like that is honestly really funny. Like it makes casuals think that like the Warriors were holding it back and that they
Yeah,
fumbled, which low key they fumbled. Like they probably
yeah.
should have at least traded him like earlier, like years ago, back when he had more
Oh,
trade value.
absolutely.
Like they fumbled in that sense, and not because they lost a great player. Because right now they only have a injured Porzingis to show for it. While the Hawks got a new offensive engine on their team, and it's been looking good, right? Like 5 game win streak. It's nothing crazy. We're not expecting the Hawks to win the chip or anything, but they're making improvements. I am curious on the direction they're going to go from here moving forward. Um, but at small sample size, but it's looking good at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. They have been looking good. Obviously, the trade has been helping them for sure, and we shall see if they can keep it up.
Shall we move on to the Thunder?
Yeah, I think we can now move on to some teams in the Western Conference, starting with the Thunder,
They've been
who are
having a very interesting like a week or two for many
they
reasons.
have been. Like to start, they were still looking very damn good even without Shea when he was injured. and now Shea returned last week, which is scary for the rest of the league. 49-15 record. They have regained the best record in the league. There was that very short period when the Pistons technically surpassed them in win percentage. OKC got that reign back. And in large part due to the fact that they are currently on a 4-game win streak against um, a few good teams. They beat the Nuggets, Mavericks, Bulls, and the Knicks. Um, Shea returned last week. I believe it was the Nuggets game where he first came back. So it was literally the start of the win streak. So as soon as he returned, they have been doing nothing but winning. And the Thunder have been looking very impressive, proving their worth as the defending champs and showing a good case of potentially, possibly repeating this year. Now I will say, regarding that game, the one against the Nuggets, the first game that Shea returned, there were some pretty funny moments in that game. Like we got a lot of good meme faces. So I'm sure you probably the main one that you probably I'm sure saw the Joker one when he got mad at Dort for that cheap shot.
Yeah,
Yeah, he looked like the actual Joker when he made
he
that
looked
face.
insane.
Like
Like, he was
yeah,
gonna
like
murder him.
he was ready to kill him for sure. Yeah, because we've never seen him make that face before. Um, but on top of that, did you also see that Shea made a pretty funny face too? Like earlier in that game,
I didn't see shit. No.
he was mad about a call. So basically what happened was I think he was trying to throw it like off off Jokic for it to
I
go
think I
out of
remember seeing
bounds.
that play. Yeah.
Yeah. But he like kind of threw it unnecessarily with force. So the ref gave him a tech. So then he made like a funny like wide open eye face. Like I don't remember what the basically he's just like what did I do or something like that. And he like had his eyes wide open for a long time. So yeah, random facts, but there were some funny memes from that game.
Yeah, that game like hurt the Thunder PR for sure. Like, obviously, since they are so good, they're also going to be so hated. But then they do stuff where like I can see why you're getting hated. Like Lou Dort, like what he did to Jokic was unnecessary. So it's just like no wonder Jokic reacted like that. And then seeing like the big Jalen Williams like trying to act tough, and then posted a picture of himself trying to act tough was kind of corny. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't help that Shea's foul baiting is like obviously like he doesn't do it every play, but like when you have so many clips of him clearly like foul baiting or flopping, um, it could get annoying like seeing that on the timeline all the time. Just him like arguing over uh, like the correct call because like sometimes they won't call the flop a foul, but Shea wants the foul, right? So um, again, Shea isn't even like the worst at that in the league. That's Denny. Obviously, he's atrocious, but it's like a a combination of all these things that sours my taste for the Thunder. Um, but in a more positive note, uh, Jared McCain has been balling. You like to see that, making the Sixers look bad for trading him away for basically nothing.
Yeah. Definitely one of the bigger head scratchers.
Yeah, like he's so young. Like, I guess they have VJ now, so and Tyrese, but like, wouldn't you like the guard depth? I don't know, like a six man, to rely on.
Yeah, obvious. I think so. I mean, like, clearly he would like help the Sixers right now. I mean, like, the other day, they lost to the Spurs by like 40 or 45 points, whatever it was. And I was like really shocked when I saw that score. I mean, obviously Spurs are clearly a better team than the Sixers, but that's still embarrassing because they did that at home, even if Embiid wasn't playing. But like I remember like that same night, McCain was having like a very good performance for OKC. I believe they were playing the Bulls. And I saw like there were definitely some salty Sixers fans saying, um, it's like, meanwhile, as the Sixers are getting absolutely crushed right now, Jared McCain is having another great performance for OKC. It's like, yeah, clearly the mistake was there. Now I will say, I saw like one person trying to like basically, I guess, trying to say like why them making that trade. Basically, what that person said was they were not happy about that trade, but they understood why the trade was made. So I'm like, why is that? The person said, to get rid of salary. I'm like, why would they need to get rid of salary? Jared McCain is literally on a rookie
Yeah,
contract.
that's like
His salary is so cheap.
he's probably the most valuable guy on the team because he has so much talent and his contract
Yeah.
is,
Like,
barely
it
anything.
doesn't make like that argument doesn't make sense.
It's
Like, don't
so
you think they would try to
stupid.
get rid of someone that like costs
It's so
more?
stupid.
Like if anything, mention the like part obviously like I think the part about like having EJ and Tyrese maybe like diminishing his minutes, that would be like a reasonable argument. But the salary dumping part, that doesn't make sense at all. So yeah, safe to say, definitely a head scratcher move, even with like the other young guys taking over. I think that if they would have also had McCain and got rid of like a more expensive guy, that would have made more sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, Sixers I think definitely made a bad move there, and unfortunately that led to a sneaky good move for OKC. As we said before, rich gets richer.
I hate that. I hate that so much. It's like
Yeah.
it happened for OKC and the Celtics. It's like the
Yeah,
rich just
I
keep
know.
getting
It's
richer. What the hell's
it's
going
fucking
on?
insane. Yeah. Obviously, if it came down to it, it'll be better OKC win than Celtics win.
Yeah.
But like, ideally, can we just have someone new win, please?
Yeah.
As long as it's not another team we don't like, obviously. But I think for the most part, we don't really need to worry about teams aside from Celtics, maybe. Because like Clippers,
The
they're not going to do
Clippers aren't
anything.
doing anything.
Warriors, they're not going to do anything.
Nope.
Um, so yeah, basically just the Celtics we'd have to worry about.
Yeah, it's the
Hopefully,
Celtics.
yeah. But yeah, OKC has been looking good to no one's surprise. Shall we now move on to the next team on the W list?
Yeah, and that would be the Timberwolves. So, what are your thoughts on their play recently?
Yeah, so Timberwolves have been looking pretty solid lately after a relatively slow start to the season. They are currently on a 5 game win streak. Wins in Portland against the Clippers. They won at Denver. They beat the Grizzlies and they beat the Raptors. So now the Timberwolves are have a 40-23 record, and that lands them as the third seed in the Western Conference. Pretty good. So they have climbed up quite a bit. And I think that based on their recent play, they are basically on track to potentially make a case to see if they can get back to the Western Conference for the third straight season. I mean, right now, I think that Western Conference has a bunch of contenders, but a bunch of inconsistent teams. So then potentially that might lead give the Timberwolves an edge because they have been there 2 straight years. So yeah, we shall see there. But recently, safe to say, Timberwolves have been looking more like the team that people expected in the offseason.
Yeah, I feel like the Timberwolves always do this, where they like
Always.
kind of so during most of the regular season, amp things up towards the end of the season, and then really lock in during the playoffs. Um, but if they want to make that extra step and make the finals, Ant got to lock in. He's had some, you know, poor games in the playoffs, including in the Western Conference Finals. Uh, wasn't there a game against the Lakers where like Ant was having a rough time, but Rudy Gobert was like balling out. like
Yeah,
he
bro.
got saved.
I was so mad, bro, because like we literally contained the guy that we needed to. What do? We let another guy take over, a guy that's not even as good. Like,
Dude, I
bro,
hated that game. And then like JJ wouldn't play any of our bigs like, to
yeah,
try to slow Rudy Gobert of all people down. Like, oh, that was an awful game, but
yeah.
yeah.
Um,
The point is that like if the Timberwolves want to make the finals, Ant has to be a superstar every single game. He's been amazing as of late. He's had like a couple of 40 games this past week, I believe. I think he also had like a few clutch moments as well recently. So yeah, he's getting older. This is the time where like he really needs to take advantage of his talent, take advantage of his talented team, and try to make that leap. Which obviously is gonna be hard in the West because it's him, is him and the Timberwolves. We've got the Nuggets, we've got the Thunder, and we got the Spurs. I think those are the four teams that I would consider as contenders. And uh, so like yeah, it's gonna be tough, but they've beaten tough teams in the past, so they can do it. They just gotta lock in.
definitely. Speaking of which, if the playoffs were today, we would be getting that damn Timberwolves and Lakers rematch. Except last year we were 2, they were 7. It would be this year
Oh
they're 3,
god.
we're 6. Um, look,
Uh,
we beat them. So obviously we only played them early in the season this year. But neither game was like the teams at full strength, I don't think. Like first game, I feel like Timberwolves are relative full strength, but then Lakers didn't have LeBron. Second game was, I believe, no LeBron and no Luca. And then the Timberwolves had no Ant. That was the game when Austin Reeves made that game winner. So I feel like those two games like hardly have any like say on like the current state of minds of these teams. So yeah, I don't think I would like that matchup if we were to play them again.
no, like in
Yeah,
best case scenario, maybe like a 4-5 matchup with the Rockets
yeah,
would be the
um,
best, but I don't know if
yeah.
that's gonna
Honestly,
happen.
like, yeah, this current team, I don't really have much faith, unfortunately.
I don't have
Like,
faith
if
either. There's no
if we get past the
defense.
first, if we can like win the first round series,
That'll
honestly,
be a
I would
miracle.
consider that as a
That's a
success.
win. That's a win.
Yeah,
But that should
and
be the bar with Luca on our team. But unfortunately, this
I
team is
know
not built for Luca. We
it's
gotta
such
wait
BS.
till LeBron leaves and then just revamp the whole team. Get a better
Yeah,
big, 3-and-D guys, which is gonna be difficult to get. But
it will be. But
a man
we
can only
gotta hope for
dream.
the best, I
Yep.
guess. Um, but yeah, I agree. Like, we definitely gotta pray probably for the Rockets. I mean, like, even the Rockets, I don't even know how confident I am in that series, but I do think that would like give them the best chance, though.
Yeah, you just gotta
So
mention the KD files to Jabari Smith Jr. and we'll be fine.
true. Yeah. Then Jabari Smith Jr. would go Jabari Smith Jr. mode. If you know, you know.
Dude.
You know that one term, right?
That we're not gonna say.
Yeah. Basically, in replacement of that word, they just say his name.
That's
It's pretty
so
funny,
wild.
not gonna lie. Yeah.
Katie's crazy for that.
Basically, Jabari Smith Jr. bees himself.
Oh my god.
I know.
Uh, all right.
But yeah,
We'll
all
close
jokes
off.
aside.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, I believe that would be a good wrap on the Timberwolves segment. Shall we go to the next winner, or was there something you were gonna say,
No,
Desai?
I was gonna move on as well.
Okay,
I
yeah.
wanted to close off this part and just mention a couple of like mini winners that we could just briefly mention, starting with LeBron James, who just surpassed Kareem for the most field goals made in a career. And of course, since this is a LeBron James milestone, the Lakers ended up losing the game. Like it happens every single time. Every
Always.
single time. Any kind of milestone, the Lakers lose. Like, come on.
It's so annoying, bro. Like, I believe we won one game during like some type of milestone or like thing, but I don't remember who it was, honestly. It was
Yeah?
either early this season or late last season. I think it might have been early this season. But like it's definitely very shocking when the Lakers actually win on one of these.
Yeah. Like I'm sure we did, but it's so rare that like I don't remember. So
Yeah.
there's that. And then another winner I wanted to mention is Trae Young debuting for the Wizards. I think this is cool because he kind of assumed that he wasn't going to return this season, that they were just gonna tank the whole way and let Trae Young rest so that this upcoming season we could see Trae Young and Anthony Davis fresh and ready to play hopefully some good basketball over there in Washington. And Trae Young only played 19 minutes, didn't have a lot of points, but had some flashy moments and got a lot of like Wizards fans excited because like he is really talented. Uh, he is an entertaining player to watch. So, I'm honestly hyped for the Wizards' future. Uh, Seeing like Trae Young in that jersey, and I just want to see what happens from here. So yeah, but that's all my thoughts on the winners for this week. I don't know if you wanted to add anything.
Um, I don't really have too much to say aside from obviously LeBron just continuing to do things that I guess at this point hard to even impress because we're just so used to it now. Another milestone for him. And yeah, unfortunately, it just had to be in another loss for the Lakers. Aside from that, regarding Trey, first off, it is great to see him back on the floor as he has been injured for basically the entire season, seemingly. On top of that, initially, I didn't like the fact that he was traded to the Wizards, but now, obviously, that they were able to also get 80 to pair as him, the potential superstar duo for future years. I say if it goes well, they could be a very good, fun team to watch. Worst thing I think that could happen is it doesn't go well, and maybe the Wizards just have to trade one or potentially both of them after a short period of time. But I think that definitely you compare this team now with Trey and AD versus the team even on opening day was opening night was like a bunch of young guys. They for sure look like they're in a better state of mind. And you add that along with who they might get was their lottery pick. I think that the team could be interesting to watch next year, assuming like Trey AD can be healthy. Um, but yeah, I think that after the recent moves, I don't dislike the structure of that team as much as when Trey was initially traded there.
Yeah, I could definitely
So
see the vision now for sure.
yeah. So hopefully all goes right for their sake.
Yeah. So I guess that's it for the winners. Uh, we'll go through the L list, and you know what? There's not much of a list. We got one team to talk about, and it's the Bucks. So why are the Bucks on the L list this week?
Yeah, so unfortunately, the Bucks just continue to stay on the losing side. They are currently on a four-game losing streak, losses to the Knicks, Bulls, Celtics, and Hawks. And all of these losses were pretty bad. Like, I believe they were all basically like blowout losses. Um, Giannis even returned on Monday versus the Celtics, and the Bucks still got destroyed by 27 at home. And this team has just continued to look horrible. They are now 9 games under 500 with a 26-35 record, which has them outside of the play-in tournament by 5 games, 11 seed. So yeah, safe to say there's a lot of signs of concern for this team. Um, Obviously in the offseason, the Bucks for sure looks like they will have to explore trading Giannis for trade partners. Um, and definitely a sad way out if that is the case, that Giannis will be gone the offseason. Um, at least they won their championship in 2021, but safe to say, it's a shame that they couldn't maximize the window with Giannis further and potentially win multiple.
Yeah, this sucks. You know, we're kind of Bucks fans. Obviously, the Lakers number one, but we like the Bucks. We like Giannis, and it's been such a rough season. Like, and we knew going into this that it was gonna be rough, but not like this bad either. You know, I had them. I think I was like a playing team, maybe even like a sixth seed. This season just sucks. You know, injury
Yeah.
came to play, but also just like the lineup. It's a horrible lineup. It's just not built for winning. So yeah, you know, I'm not surprised that they're on a 4 game losing streak, even if Giannis returned against the Celtics, right? It's like it's not surprising because you know this team was poorly built. I forgot the word. Constructed, poorly constructed. There we go.
Yeah. And that is for sure. I for sure remember that I definitely when we did the standings, I don't know what I personally was thinking, but I expected them to be a lot higher. And safe to say, absolutely way off on that one. So that was not one of my proud predictions. Um, but then again, like I feel like a lot of us probably didn't necessarily think them to go far in the sense like even if they made the playoffs, they'd probably be a first round out again. But I feel like many of us expected him to at least either get to the playoffs or at least to play in simply due to Giannis and his carry jobs that he's done in the past. Unfortunately, this roster has just been absolutely too garbage for him to even be able to do anything. So, yeah, sad way out for sure if he is indeed traded in the offseason. But hopefully, he can find himself a much better team that actually gives him a chance to win. Hopefully, it could be on a team that we like so we can continue to root for him. Because it would suck to have to root against Giannis because he's on a team we don't like.
Giannis with a Celtics jersey on would be like my biggest
Oh
nightmare.
my gosh. The thing is, like, if he gets traded to the Celtics, that better mean that the Celtics have to give up Jaylen Brown or something, which they probably wouldn't want to. But like my point is, imagine if they somehow had all three of those guys. That
Oh
would be
my
some total
god.
bullshit. Yeah.
All right, I guess that's it. Unless you had anything else to add, I feel like that's it for the W and L list, right?
Yeah, I think so. It was relatively, I would say, quiet in the sense that there were no major headlines this week. And the games were basically regular season flow. So yeah, I believe that would basically be it for our episode today. Um, as always, I want to, of course, thank the viewers for watching our content. The support for our channel, greatly appreciate it. Obviously, last week we were on episode 100. Now we are on 101 and continuing to go strong. If you guys like our content, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, follow us on all platforms. Stay tuned. We will continue to do our weekly recaps, and we will also add in other fun concepts as well. You do not want to miss that. So, um, yeah, definitely stay tuned. Make sure you guys have a great day, week, and so forth. Um, Memo, anything you would like to add on?
No, you did a good job. I think you covered everything. So, yeah, we'll see you all next week. Goodbye.